Today on 10-Minute IT Jams, we have Laura Peddie, who is the account manager at Poly. So welcome to the jam, Laura.
Thanks, Nick. It's great to be here today.
Perfect. Yeah, it's good to have you. So we're going to be talking a lot about Poly's headsets. So to start off, how has Poly changed the way we use headsets?
Yeah, so look, I think we've seen headsets move from being a bit of a basic endpoint, which only certain users in an organization required, to a device that has become more critical and a device that's really needed for pretty much everybody in their roles. You know, this has come about in the shift to more of a hybrid-based workforce, which was accelerated by COVID last year. And headsets now provide a core function for collaboration, both internally and externally. Last year we saw a number of people jump to kind of use whatever they had at hand. And in some cases, this was a consumer headset, which really aren't designed to be used on platforms like Teams or Zoom. And the users in the far end were really kind of having a poor experience with those. I think this is where Poly's really helped customers shift to using headsets as a core device and showing the difference in, what kind of experience you get with a purpose-built device so that the experience is kind of superior. And the way that organizations are getting engagement, but at the same time users are comfortable. They're not straining to hear what's happening on a call. Our devices look good, so they want to wear them, but at the same time IT really love them too, because they're able to manage and support those devices.
Right, yeah. And I understand there's several different types of headsets that Poly offers, so can you give me a rundown on some of these?
Yeah, so look, Poly has an end-to-end portfolio across, devices of all areas of collaboration, whether that be headsets, handsets, or meeting room devices. But when it comes to that headset range, we do have a really wide range on offer, from your basic wired headset through to a top-of-the-line wireless device. We have 4 core ranges of devices. We have the Blackwire range, which is our USB wired devices. We have the Voyager, which is our wireless Bluetooth range. And we have Encore for our specialized contact center wired headsets, and Savi for our wireless contact center headsets, or where maybe office spaces are a little bit congested with Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. One of the headsets that I did just want to touch on is from our Voyager range. We've recently just expanded this range with the release of the new Voyager Focus 2 headset, which takes the user experience to, I guess, the next level. We've pulled a number of technologies from our existing devices, but also from our video range and our meeting room devices, and kind of packed it into this headset. And one of the features that I really like is our acoustic fence technology, which is kind of like putting a wall around you so that there's no unwanted noises that are passed to the far end. And then a couple of other features like dynamic mute, which tells you if you're trying to speak while on mute, and we've all done that. And the ability to listen to music with stereo sound when you're not on a call, because, we're not on calls all day. And, some people like to use them as personal devices as well.
Yeah. And yeah, you mentioned the obvious fact that people are using these devices more and more as people are locked down, as we are in New Zealand. So how important is it to have a good headset in this hybrid workforce where a lot of people are staying at home?
Yeah, look, it's critical, right? There's been a lot of research out there where we've been talking about this shift to that hybrid workforce model. And one of the stats that I really like is that, by 2024, we expect to see remote workers represent around 30% of employees worldwide, which is an increase of 13% since 2019. And, I know locally we're probably seeing that a little bit more in the uptake of that remote working. But these workers are going to be expecting the same level of technology that they had in the office now at home. And the flexibility to use these devices in various scenarios across multiple devices. and they kind of have the expectation that they're just going to work and the experience is as lifelike as possible. So having a good headset really provides the ability, to join a meeting or a call, no matter where you are or what you're doing, and collaborate as if you're talking in person. We've all seen those users on a call where they don't have a good headset and you can hear the dog barking in the background or a child, crying. But with a Poly device with, some of those things like that acoustic fence and active noise cancelling, no one has any idea that the courier's just turned up and my dogs are barking in the background and letting me know that someone's here. And I think another key component is making sure that you've got the right headset for your user type. So at Poly, we talk a lot about personas, and there's been a lot of research and work that's gone into this to make sure that, the device that you're using is fit for purpose. So whilst we're in a hybrid workforce, some of us, when we aren't in lockdown and working from home, we might be in the office and we're a bit desk bound. So something like a wired device might be a better fit than, say, for someone like myself, where I am traveling, I'm going to customer meetings, and so a wireless device is a much better option for me. So, we really talk about making sure you've got the right device for that user. Yeah.
Right, yeah. And my final question for you, Laura, you kind of mentioned a lot of what this question would be in your answers before, but if an end user wanted to purchase a headset, what are the reasons they should choose Poly over one of your competitors?
Yeah, sure. So look, there are many reasons, but I would say one of them is that we've been doing this for a really long time, right? We, on the headset side, it's over 50 years. We know what we're doing. We design devices that are fit for purpose with some of those great technology features like that acoustic fence. And another point is really that, organizations are using platforms like Teams and Zoom where they require headsets, for desktop and remote workers, but typically they're also looking at other areas of technology. So say meeting room devices or handsets, whether that be for reception or warehouses. And I guess this is a really core strength of Poly, is that we don't just stop at the headsets. We can help organizations across all of those different areas to make sure that, you've got devices that are able to support your collaboration requirements. And this is really important because for both the IT team, you've got, the ability to have a simplified management and support process across all of those areas of your business, but also a consistent user experience and workflow for the users, right? They know what they're doing on their laptop and what happens when they walk into the meeting room or what happens if they pick up a phone. So it's all about consistency in that experience.
Brilliant. Awesome. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you again for joining me today, Laura.
Thank you for having me.